Good gaming champions. It's your boy Matt, and with me as always, the other boys. We've got Dion, we've got Shay. We are going to go through our top 3 solo games. So, gentlemen, who would like to start?
Can I already fall on the sword? We'll let you go first.
No.
Yeah, well, you know, I want to have Dion fall on the sword.
I'm gonna automatically fall on the sword because remember I was like, I'll try anything, I'll play. I don't play solo games. I just don't. If I want to play by myself, with myself, it's a completely different channel.
Kid show.
Kid show.
No, it's not.
If I want to play by myself, I'll play on my PC or I'll play on my Xbox. That's what I'll do. I'll pick up a game of hockey or I'll play anything else if I'm going to play a game by myself. I do not pick
Solitaire?
up
Do you
games
play-
to play
are you a
by myself.
solitaire guy?
Now, there are a couple I don't play solitaire at all. There's just too many things out there that want my attention that I just don't. I don't unbox a game, open it up, set it up, play it. I'm not saying they're not fun. Some of the best solo games that are being created right now seem like a lot of fun. And if I play them, I want to do a plus, like you always say, a 1+, where I have multiple people and we're just
Two-handed.
playing it. Like we're, oh, hey, what do you want to do? I think that was the only way I even got one of my games because I had to come up with a top 3. So my top 3 will go number 3.
Let's do number 3s. So do your number 3.
So do number 3 would have to be Hostage Negotiator. That would have to be my number 3 game from our friends at Van Ryder. And I didn't get paid to say that, but
Transparency.
yeah, transparency. Don't get me, FTC. Is totally not true.
We don't get paid enough.
we don't get
paid
paid at all.
Or
Right?
you like and subscribe.
Yes. But Hostage Negotiator, great game. If you've ever played Hostage Negotiator, you are negotiating the release of hostages with somebody who is holding them hostage, obviously. And you're rolling dice. Yes, and you're rolling dice, and it's got some cool things that pops up while you're playing it. It is a really fun, good solo game. Again, I don't play solo games. I played this one with Solo Plus, where someone's like, "Have you played it? I'm going to get you into it." They set me down and played it, and I was like, that's cool. I really, really like this one. And that is probably my number 3 if I have to go number 3.
Shay, number 3.
So it's hard for me because
Well, let me start with this.
Yes.
Is your whole are you gonna do Final Girl 1, 2, 3 seasons? Like, is that your 3?
I'm trying not to.
Okay.
That should be perfect.
Because Final Girl is just a game series.
Because I was
Series, can you
thinking
do the
about.
whole
I'm going to
series?
tell you my
Yeah,
favorite 3,
all in one.
my
Yeah.
favorite 3 feature films. I thought that was going to be it because but I mentioned my favorite games multiple times on this channel because I
One's
love
gonna
these
ruin
games.
for you.
So
When you play solo, a lot of solo
and I
games.
play a lot and I play a lot of games that has a solo mode.
Yeah.
So but these are not gonna be a surprise to y'all. Number 3, Heat. Heat.
Okay.
You play Heat solo?
Yes, you can play with AI's Legends.
So I know, but I mean, you play it solo. You enjoy it solo?
Yes, that's how I'm training. Like that last week,
training.
last week, literally,
I'm
I
training.
have been training. I have been even streaming it. Me training
Really?
against AI people and just me trying to play Heat because I am mad that I didn't do that thing at Gen Con. I'm coming for it next year. So I have been literally
we
on
might have
it.
to do a series on that.
I'm literally going for it. But so yeah, Heat.
So
Okay.
you're number 3. You're number 3.
Well, I wanted to mention because part of the reason why I came here in the first place to Voss Media was because of the fact that I just want people to play board games with. So the idea of being able to come into a shop and be able to talk about board games was actually a really welcomed thing for me. And so a lot of my gaming is solo. Mr. Blocks, maybe you can pick it up a little bit and play with your dear old dad. I'd love it. But until that day comes,
Name dropped him a lot.
A lot.
trying to help him out, man. Need that sweet YouTube cash, pay for college. So first couple things, just a couple honorable mentions because I do have quite a few, but the 2 honorable mentions I just want to mention real quick. ISS Vanguard, you talked about playing two-handed.
Yes.
That's how I play it. It's such a phenomenal game, space exploration, a lot of ways you can branch off in the story. I love the exploration side of it. The combat's okay. But to me, that's
It's
such
got a great
wonderful
story
game.
with it too. I love
Yeah.
a great story with
And
it.
like one of our previous episodes, I love apps and games. Skytear Horde, which I've actually mentioned before, a big fan of the Skytear world. That's just a little basically tower defense card battler. Draw your cards, play your cards, try to defeat the horde coming to capture, basically defeat you. It's pretty simple. Fit in the Skytear world, love it. But my number 3 is one of us came prepared. Maybe you would have came prepared had you dressed all snazzy this week like you did last week for Halloween.
Yeah, I did not.
Yeah, I could tell. I was really proud of you last week. Number 3, for those of you on Spotify, it is Too Many Bones. This is. Have you played this, Dion?
I've seen a lot of play on that,
and
but I've never
really
played it.
wanted to
It is
play
one that's just a little more difficult for me to get my hands on unless I want to pay a little bit money for it. So
yeah, Chip Theory Games, great, phenomenal game, brain burner, which is why I wondered if you'd played it. I love the fact that there's so much uniqueness within the different gear locks. It's one of those where you have to truly stick with one character for quite a while just to learn the nuances of their combat and their skills. So it just offers a significant amount of replayability. The story's pretty good. And like I said, the way that you can battle from so many different ways is amazing to me. So that's my number 3.
Nice.
Dion, number 2.
Again, don't play solo. So for me, my number 2 is another one that we set out at the table. I think I played this one with you, Shay. You taught me this one because somebody brought it back because they didn't like it. It was Under Falling Skies. And I was like, I don't play solo. And Shay was here that day and goes, well, we're going to play this together. We're going to do this. And it was really fun going back and forth with him, deciding what we're going to do. So it did feel like, and let me preference saying I don't play solo games again, but by saying that, to me, board games is an opportunity to get people together and not do it by myself. I understand it's a way to pass time, but I have other things that I like to do by myself, like play video games and play, on my Steam account. So I've got a ton of games on that. But for me, board games means more than playing. Not that there's not good solo games, and some of my best things I like about solo games is it allows me to learn it. You can play against the AI, learn how to play it a little bit, get better at it. That's all wonderful. But I like the atmosphere of just, even if I'm doing my own thing and you're doing your own thing from across the way, I still have to have that interaction of us laughing and enjoying each other's time. That's what board games does for me. So solo, number 2, because we had that experience, I think it became my second favorite, if I'm going to say solo game, is Under Falling Skies. I like
very popular.
And I'm not a dice roller. But I felt very asteroidy, like asteroids are like asteroids or space invaders. It's very Space Invaders.
Is waiting to drop.
Yeah, he's waiting. Yeah, it felt very like the video game Space Invaders. It felt very much like that, where you're rolling the dice, you're deciding where you're going to put them based on what you're powering and what you're not, using some cards to help out. And the whole time, this massive ships are coming down to invade your area, which I did enjoy that. I'm not, but we played it together, and I think it was more of like, I don't know, what do you think we should do? I don't know what we should do. I don't know. And it was that experience more than it was the game itself.
Yeah.
Shay, number 2.
See, it's hard because my number 2 would be like Under Falling Skies.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with that. We can share.
Okay, we'll share. Because I was about to say Sudoku, but I know that's not a board game. But literally, I play Sudoku every day. It's the logic of me. Oh no, I don't have to share with you. Number 2, Turing Machine. I told y'all I'm a simple person. I say what I like, and a lot of things I like because I could play it solo.
So simple, he can't create his top 3 list. That's how simple he is.
I feel like
he has so many games.
I gave Shay a list.
He didn't bring it.
He didn't bring it.
Did not bring it.
It's Turing Machine. I'm talking about games that I actually played.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the main part. And once I have like 2 or 3 solo games I can play that I actually like, I want to try others. But let me get through that. And especially because like Under Falling Skies, I haven't got through. Because there's so many. Because even talking about that, there's like my number 2.
They got great like campaign mode.
They got great campaign mode. But see, I'm having that trouble because I just thought of another number 2, and I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to
like lock it down.
Actually, I'm just going to lock it down.
You're going to have to give him more of a heads up for him to write it down and state the script, Shay. We're going to have to write that up there. State of the script, Shay.
Because can we just put like Final Girl S tier so I can put something I won?
No.
Okay.
No.
So did you do your number 2? You did.
I
you
do.
Skytear.
No. My number 2 is also in space. Under Falling Skies is a great one, but Warp's Edge. For those of you on Spotify, Warp's Edge is a little bit of a bag builder. You basically are acquiring more tokens. You're drawing tokens out that give you the abilities to fight off ships, and you're kind of working your way towards that main baddie, if you will. You're upgrading your ship through the tokens, and so as you pull the tokens out, that's what's giving you basically the ability to kind of figure out what you're going to do with each turn, and every turn gets a little bit more difficult. So there's a little bit of that built-in timer to the game. And this is actually one of the games, kind of back to a previous episode that we talked about of deluxification. to me, it's a simple deluxification. It's not getting into the egregious minis and 6 boxes of expansions. I love acrylic tokens above cardboard. And this game came through with some great acrylic tokens for this and the expansion. It also has a really great neoprene mat that does a good job of educating you how to play too. But just to reach your hand into the bag and feel the tokens versus the cardboard tokens is just that tactile input to me is just such a wonderful experience builder. Which is why I think it's a great deluxification. But yeah, it's something that's simple. It's easy to set up. It's easy to get to the table and play, which to me, I had other games like Hoplomachus Victorium that I wanted to put on, but it takes so long.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's also one of my issues with ISS Vanguard. Like, it's just some of these things are so hard to put together that it's like by the time you get done with it, I'm ready to go to bed.
Well, probably ISS Vanguard as well. If you're playing it solo, you've got to finish it. Like if you're playing it, because you can't just reset it back up for something else.
Right.
Because once the cards are in order and you've got everything kind of floating along that path, that's one of the problems we had with it is after we got like halfway through and then we're like, okay, we can't really get together and play this anymore. I haven't even spent the time to reset it yet.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole reset mechanism on it. So I agree with you on that if you're going to take the time to do it, you're busting through it.
Right.
You know,
this you're literally set up in 3 minutes.
Nice. Renegade as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
yeah, nice.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to the championship. Who gets the title?
Was it number one?
Number one, yeah.
Number one.
Champion is
number one. This is a game that I've actually caught myself playing by myself. Okay, so I'd like to play it with more people. So it is a 1 to 4, I believe it is. But it is done by Fantasy Flight Games. And they have a whole living card game section that you could argue one faces the other one. They do Arkham Horror. They also do like the Lords of the Rings series. But I find myself building decks in this Marvel Champions is my number one. I find myself just enjoying building the deck and then quickly running it up against one of the villains and then playing through and going, oh yeah, that worked really well, and then doing it again. So this one is actually one that I can say for solo play, it's way better with friends, of course, but if you don't have any friends, playing solo by yourself, I really, really enjoyed Marvel Champions.
Why did he look at me when he said that?
Like
that felt like a little bit of a dagger.
No, I'm just... Ow.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Too brute. And what are your favorites? Yeah, you like that? You went to college for that. But what's your favorite hero?
I've been playing with Wolverine when we get a chance to play, but I'm going to plug here. Wednesday nights, they do Marvel Champions here, and sometimes people don't show up to my game that I chose to teach that night, and I've gotten to sneak away and play Marvel Champions with that group, and they have everything. Gosh, every hero that's there. And lately it's been Wolverine. I really want to play Deadpool. That's a newer one that that's supposed to be coming out soon. Yeah. But I've read a lot about him that his cards look pretty fun to do. But I like Deadpool. Out of the base set, I would probably say it's Spider-Man / really any of them I like to play out of the base set. I think it's fun because they offer different things. And the other one I really enjoy playing is Drax. I think Drax is a lot of fun only because you're taking a lot of the damage and you're bragging it on while everybody else is trying to, help defeat it. So I think as a multiplayer game, it's a great game. Even as a solo player game where I'm building my deck. Oh yeah, where I'm building my deck up and I'm adding cards and then I'm running against somebody and then I go, oh, I really should have removed this one and added this one in. I'm going to do that and see how that comes out. We'll see if that pops up. Yeah. Which is one of the only games in the building here that I actually sleeved. It's not the only, but one of the very few that I've actually sleeved all the entire cards on. I bought a whole nother base set to make sure every character has a starter deck with it. And I highly recommend that as a solo player. If you are a solo player, but also if you can find some friends, Matt, that is a good one.
One day.
You can always come play Marvel Champions with us on Wednesday nights at Voss Media Board Game Cafe. There. Plug.
Maybe if more people liked our channel, I'd have more friends.
There you go.
Shay, I don't even know why I'm asking you.
Can we? No.
Let me just explain it. Okay.
Does it need an explanation? Watch the first 4 episodes.
Right, first 4. It's Final Girl. I want to just explain a part. It's just a little taste. I brought 2 things.
Now, is this specifically your favorite villain and villain?
This is one of my favorites. I will give you that. It's not. I don't think I have Freddy is probably my best one, but I just brought one that I like, and I'm gonna play sometime. Actually, probably tonight.
What is the name of this one?
This one is Final Girl, Wolf Asylum, starring the Ratchet Lady.
That's season 2.
This season 2. Yes, it is.
Nice.
And so, I'm gonna explain this for people who listening on Spotify. I have one box here, right? I flicked the one side of it. We got the killer. Everything we need to know the killer.
Show that to the audience.
Right there. Boom. All the pieces.
I do like the way they do that. I'm a big fan of that.
This is if you want to play Ratchet Lady, this is what you need. And then you can slip the instructions right there. And then flip around. Wolf Asylum. A little bit of 8, a little bit of what we just said. Boom. Put that there. You want to see the pieces? Boom. Put it there.
They are probably one of the best on the utilization of their box.
I just need my core box, which I can't open it right now because we're not gonna use it, and we need to do it for our Thursday this
base
week.
Set. Yep.
Base set.
Yeah, the base set.
But that's why, because I can take this out, play freaking in space. I can take this out and have the Wolf Asylum with Jason, who probably shouldn't be there. So like it's so yes, and lore. The lore book.
Didn't you also print up like this sheet that every time you die, one of those happens?
I have that book too. It's a book.
It's a book like that?
It's a book like that.
Nice.
It's multiple books of, let's say, the gruesome thing. Like, if I want to play like Ratchet Lady, right? I can go into this lovely book. This is a lore book and lore scenario books for people who are now looking. And I can go to all the Ratchet Lady stuff, and I can mix and match it with other killers, and they'll have me a little story. Why?
Did you get the minis with this one? Did you go and buy the minis and the mats?
That is legitimately the one game, and I said that before.
So you deluxeified this game.
No, because we said that last week. I was like, there's only one game that I will yes, I will deluxeify. I might even buy sleeves for this game. That is how deep it is.
Wow.
And I don't. And
you
our
love
team
this game.
no sleeve. And we're sponsored and we're partnered with them. Let's go.
That is a big win. Big win for Voss Media Board Game Cafe.
I will say this, that you didn't give credit to this part of it, but you probably were just so exuberant of everything else. They have I don't have the season 2 stuff yet, but for season 1, arguably one of the best collection tools for all of the different villains.
He's got the big box.
And the big box with it. It looks like a VHS.
He deluxeified it.
Exactly.
It's not deluxe. This came with it. If you shoot it to the side, it looks like a VHS. Anyway.
Everything on it.
I mean, even like the mat has like a VHS, and so you can set it up to where it looks like you're picking your VHSs, which is great for like the theme, what it does. Right. They really, and again, they're not paying us, but they really knocked it out of the park with this one. This is a really good, and like I said, they make some of the best solo games. Hostage Negotiator has this mode that I haven't played yet. I'm so excited, to where you can purchase. It's like the career mode, and you deal with like all the things outside of the hostage negotiation, which is, to me, I'm excited to play, and I'm not excited to play single player games. I want to play them with other people, which we will be doing an unboxing here as well. So come join us, and we will be getting into it. And I'm very excited to see they probably have the best like utilization of their box.
I can't say, like I said, they're S tier. They're past 1 for me. Final Girl.
So you're number 1.
I don't know how I followed up, but so my
garbage. I can't even believe you would bring it. I'm just Actually, it is made by one of my favorite publishers,
Eagle Griffin Games. Yeah. So my number 1 for those on Spotify is Baseball Highlights 2045. This was one of the first games I got when I got into the board game space, and the reason I got it was because I was a baseball guy, played in college, and so any way to get connected to this new hobby that I was trying to get into was easy, especially when it was a hobby that I loved. And so what I really was drawn to was the fact that in the solo version, you can play other people, of course. It's a 1 to 4 player game, but It's a deck builder, which I'm a sucker for. I love deck builders. I love the simplicity of the back and forth game of playing a card and kind of the retaliation of the other side to dictate whether it's a hit, whether it's an out, moving your pieces on the really nice neoprene mats that they have with it to kind of dictate where they are on the field, first base, second base, third base, etc. And then you go into like a draft mode of trying to acquire more humans or robots to be on your team to enhance them so your team gets better, a little more efficient, more effective. The solo mode is great though because again it's simple, it's easy. You're gonna lose a little bit more up front when you're first starting to play as you go through the season because the computer deck, if you will, is already stacked where you have to kind of build up towards it. So it gives you that rewarding feeling when you're building the right way and you're adding the right players to your team as you start to kind of catch up and then feel yourself surpass them. So it gives a lot of reward in that sense. So to me, again, the theme, it's so hard. I've said this many times on this channel. I'm a sports guy. So the theme is right up my alley. And like I said, it's a simple game. You can teach people in 5 minutes. And if you have people in your life who are sports fans, it's an automatic. The hard part is getting access to it. I think they did a reprint about a year ago, but
I can get access to it.
Yeah.
Order it at Voss Media Board Game Cafe.
There you go.
So I steered away from getting that only because sports games has a bad rep when it comes to, unless it's a toy or you're flicking something. Board games.
69% of our viewers disagree with you.
But when you have like baseball highlights or football, like I've got a couple of them in the building here, and you're using cards to do certain things, it removes, I think, some of the fun of the sport. Does that do that for you on this game at all, or does it just kind of encourage you to?
I mean, am I going to get the same experience playing this as what I would like triple play back in the old day of the EA Sports baseball game? No, of course not. My favorite video game of all time is on the NES. It's called Little League Baseball.
Oh yeah.
I could still sing the music. I always played as Canada. Peter,
mine was Ken Griffey
3.
Jr. for the Super NES. I loved that one. So
and so with that said, is it going to replace that? No. But when I want to be away from a screen and I want to share the love of sport, because again, you're basically a little version of war, basically between you and the opponent or the computer deck, but everything is so thematic to it.
Nice.
That, based on the strength of your card, oh, now I get a double. Oh, they played a card that's going to cause me to get an out. I added a new pitcher who's going to be stronger and give my defense more strength. So that it's so thematic that, again, is it going to replace a video game? Probably not. But when you don't want to be sitting in front of a screen, I think it's a wonderful experience.
Absolutely.
And there's a reason why it really had a cult following.
It did. And it's still really, there's a ton of expansions on Eagle. And that's one of the reasons why I steered away. I was really scared of getting something like that on the shelf and everybody just picking it up and feeling the same way they feel about any other, sports kind of games. But I love managing. Like I'm big into like Football Manager, where I'm managing my own, and they have a new 11 that looks amazing. I'm not even a soccer fan, but I would love to get that to the table. Do you really? I would love to get that to the table and just give it a shot, because I think it would be great to build your team and then make trades and then.
And that is far more a football. Football. So you. Soccer. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Shay was like, okay, let's move on. But that is very much a management game.
Yeah, and I want to play it.
The playing of the game is a very small part of that game. So much of it is off-field player acquisition, practicing, managing your team, almost like franchise of Madden back in the day.
Nice.
So it's a lot more like, where do we play at? What's our team? What's the costs? So I think it would really be up your alley. But yeah, this is just pure playing. There's no. The only management is like at the end of rounds, you like a lot of games, you'll have like Dune Imperium, for example. You can play cards that will give you basically a currency for the purchasing of new cards.
Yes.
And it kind of has that bit to it of playing certain cards that will give you a currency that you can then use to acquire new players from the bench, or, the free agency, as they call it. So, like I said, it's not going to replace a lot of things, but when you're sitting at a table, you want to be away from a screen. It gives you and again, the neoprene play mats are like a diamond, baseball diamond.
Really nice. They did a really good job on the production of it.
Yeah.
And like I said, they dumped a lot of money into it. There's people that really get into it.
And I will say this, I think a lot of the expansions are not necessary at all.
Yeah.
Because not knowing anything, and it was one of the first ones I bought, so I didn't mind spending extra money, which I probably wouldn't do today. But like, I got all of the teams thinking they would be different, and they're not. It's just like basically all of the same starter decks, but just with different team names on them. So I was a little disappointed about that. It didn't feel worth it at all. And if I could go back in time, I wouldn't do it. But I wanted I'm a Detroit guy. I'm a Tigers guy. So I wanted, not the Detroit Tigers in the game, but they're Detroit. I wanted to represent them. But in retrospect, that was a waste of money.
I'd be interested. Maybe we can get at the table sometime.
So that's where we're going to choose to end. And if you want to see Brandon back with the show, let us know in the comments. But again, like, subscribe. Everything helps the algorithm.
5 stars.
5 stars on Spotify. Checking us anywhere. We'd love to converse with you and build the community. So with that, we'd like to say you can do anything with your time. We thank you for spending it with us this week. And with that, we'll end with saying, champions never stop gaming.
Champions never stop. Oh.